Today we are launching the 2015 Anglicare WA Public Perceptions Report around public housing and homelessness. Anglicare focused on public housing and homelessness for our perceptions report, mainly because we know affordability and availability of housing is going down.
Housing is one of the main pillars of human well-being. You can't be employed if you haven't got housing. It's difficult to have good health if you haven't got good housing.
Western Australia is facing a housing crisis. If it continues in the trend we're going at the moment, the current numbers of 10,000 homeless people will clearly rise well above that number.
Western Australia to the rest of the country, we actually have the second worst per capita population of homeless young people, second only to the Northern Territory.
Of the homeless people in Western Australia, 15% are 55 and older, and those at risk of homelessness that climbs up to 25%.
Some of the causes of homelessness are structural. In Western Australia, we don't have enough houses to accommodate the population that we have. Other causes, of course, are personal and relate to an individual circumstances.
Finding in the private rental market at the moment, there is virtually nothing available for people who are on a fixed and minimum income or on some kind of welfare benefit.
We see people who don't reinsure their car because they can't afford to, who make choices about whether to purchase medication that they've got prescribed, and we also see people going without food. You can go without food for a day a week, you can't not pay a day's rent a week.
People need a safe and secure home. Sometimes, and for some periods in people's lives, they actually need the state to step in and actually provide that home at a significantly reduced income.
I'd say there's not sufficient public housing in Western Australia, and that over successive decades and successive governments we've seen an underinvestment in the capital that's needed there.
To improve the housing situation in Western Australia, we need more houses. We need to build more houses. Nowhere in this country's history has there been enough housing without significant government expenditure, and that's been winding back for the last 30 or 40 years.
Getting the community to understand how serious the issue is will allow us to put more pressure on politicians to make more commitments around this area.
For a lot of us who aren't working in government or in policy areas, it's interesting to think about, well, what does this mean for me? If I care about this, what is it that can I do in my own home, in my community? And the first thing I'd say is addressing some of those negative stereotypes, actually being clear about getting yourself informed and sharing that information with your family, your friends and your community.